Hello everyone. This is a no save no damage run of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, classic PC Source Next version, Nemesis %, a range heavy mode, Disco Jill, S rank, with a completion time of 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 52 seconds. Nemesis % means that we have to defeat Nemesis every time he drops an item. That's 7 otherwise optional encounters. I also fight him as Carlos, plus the 3 mandatory fights, that's 11 Nemesis encounters total. A range heavy mode is the hardest difficulty on this game. Bosses have more HP, we start with only the handgun and reloading tool, with a knife in the item box. There's more to it, but those are the high points. In front of Jill's apartment, a single zombie blocks the way, just downing him and running by.
September 28th, daylight. The monsters have overtaken the city. Somehow, I'm still alive.
After the cutscene, we're in the warehouse, running over to this container to get some handgun ammo, and attempting to go up the stairs to the office. Inside the warehouse office, we have 2 gunpowder A's inside the locker here. Going to combine those 2 together with the reloading tool to get 35 handgun rounds. Grabbing the warehouse key on the way out. And using that key to go out the back door. How it's locked from the inside, no idea. Cutting through the main street here. Into the back street. Door bursts open, Brad's running out, and several zombies emerge. We're going to reset the room since they are all turbos. Resetting the room is going to chill them out. And we're just going to use the handgun, because that's all we have, since I don't use the knife at all. Got a turbo, almost got me again. 2 back-to-back close calls. We have 3 down, number 4 is around the corner. And he's out already, down the stairs, into the shelter, number 5 here. Low HP, he's done for. The body in the corner has a shotgun. And we have the lighter oil on the bench. Back up the stairs. Topping off our ammo. To the residential street. Going to the opposite wall to make sure that zombie is not turboing and to lure him slightly away from the wall. Zigging and zagging. Sometimes they can turbo, sometimes they'll be in slightly different positions. Then the 2 at the end were just running by. In the private backyard here, we've got Brad. And we've got the blue tank top zombie here, who almost got me. Several close calls. Taking out the blue tank top with a shotgun. Since he is in the way. And will be in the way once we're done in the bar here. Instead of helping Brad, we're going to try to use the payphone, but Jill doesn't have any change, so she's going to take the lighter. And gets rudely interrupted on her way back to the register, which has some more handgun ammo. I always like to try to get both before the cutscene with Brad starts. Back through the private backyard. The blue tank top zombie would be in this alley here, which is why I take him out. He can be avoided, but I find it easier to take him out. In the barricaded back passage here, combining the oil with the lighter and using that to burn away these ropes here. We got the good RNG with the barricade. It can fall at any time, but it will certainly fall after the lighter is used. Through the forked alley, ignoring the dogs, into the storeroom, grabbing a gunpowder A and gunpowder B off the shelf, making some more handgun ammo, putting away the reloading tool and the lighter and the gunpowder B. I like to move the gunpowders down a little bit, make some room for weapons and ammo first, then passing the bookstore on the way to the RPD. First live selection, first Nemesis encounter. We need to fight him, so we're going to fight him. Holding up, left, and running by Nemesis' right side. He's going to swing with his left, he's going to miss. And we're just going to run. We're going to run all the way to the door that leads into the zigzag alley, which we need the lockpick for. And I'm going to stand on this board here. And we're going to do what I have come to call menu tacking. Once Nemesis is hung up on the corner, I'm taking 3 shots with the handgun, rotating Jill 90 degrees so she's facing the wall, and then going into the menu. That resets Nemesis's pathing AI. If he's stuck on a corner for more than 3 or 4 seconds, then he will start moving to get off of that corner. But by doing this particular pattern and going into the menu, that effectively resets that timer. After 30 handgun rounds, he's down. Running up to him to scoot him out. Point blank with the shotgun. Then back to the corner. Scooting him slightly means that he will not get unstuck right away. Basically bullying him back into his position that we want him in. And it's going to take 21 handgun rounds to take him down. Done just like this, 51 handgun rounds and a shotgun shell. There we go. And our first item pickup, Eagle Parts A. 1/2 of the parts required to make the Eagle 6.0 handgun. Through the courtyard and into the RPD we go. In the main hall, handgun rounds on the reception desk, and then through the door into the west office. There are 2 variations of zombie placement here. If there's a zombie by the door, that is the less favorable, in my opinion, RNG. Not only are they spread out, but this means the shotgun shells are not in Marvin's office, they are in the operations room. So we have to go a little bit out of our way to get those. Nothing we can't handle, of course, but it would be nice. Using the handgun mostly, but I did get a 2-for-1 with the one that was down and taking the legs out of the other one. Once a zombie's a crawler, resetting the room will despawn them. If they are not already a crawler, that is. In the evidence room, got the blue gem in one of the lockers. Going around to the locker that needs a combination to open. The possible combinations are 0131, 4011, 0513, or 4312. That gets us the STARS key. In the west stairway, using a shotgun shell to soften up these 2 Zeds. The third one came around early, just using the handgun on him. Using slide shots from a distance and into the winding corridor. I just run, hug the outer wall, and then cut to the inside. In the operations room, the shotgun shells are on the mantle in front of the picture. Even if we did have the lighter, Jill will just comment that there's nothing to do with the fireplace. Just have one more guy in the way. And he wanted to be a little quick, but we got him. In the dark room, got a gunpowder A in the locker. Then to the item box. Putting away that gunpowder and the blue gem. I need to free up one more inventory slot. So I'm going to use the shotgun. Up on the second floor west stairway. 2 enemy patterns here as well. We've got the 3 zombies by the stairs. And a solitary Zed on the other side. The other variation is just the inverse. The 3 by the statue and the 1 by the stairs. That's the one I prefer. In the office corridor, using the STARS key to get into the STARS office. Barry's desk has handgun ammo. Jill's desk, lockpick. And we try to leave. We get a radio message, which puts us by the weapons locker, which can have the Magnum, or in this case, the grenade launcher. For no damage runs, I prefer the Magnum. But we just get what we get. On our way back down, Nemesis encounter number 2. He has a rocket launcher this time. I'm going to run to the corner, bait out a few rockets. He fired 3, then he started running. He has 5 rockets. He can fire as few as 1 or 2, or at most 4. He will never fire 5 in one single volley. Running back into the west office, into the corner by the bookshelf here. And this is where we are going to post up. If he still has any rockets left, we need to be careful about shooting him. If you try to fire while Nemesis is firing a rocket, there's a chance to initiate a dodge. And that dodge means Jill is going to move to her left, out of our safe zone. So if he's firing a rocket, we're just going to let him, we're just going to wait. If we're tucked up in the corner of the bookshelf, the rockets won't hit us. Now every 3 shots, I'm doing a variation of the menu tech. Instead of rotating to the right, I am holding down and left to back up Jill at an angle. 30 handgun rounds to knock him down. Shotgun point blank, back into the corner. Reloading the handgun. And I'm going to fire 6 shots before reloading. That way, when I get done with Nemesis, this handgun will be empty, and we're actually done with it for the rest of the game. When he starts swinging, I'm just giving him his space. And he's down. That gives us the Eagle Parts B. Combined together, gets us the Eagle 6.0 with a full 15-round magazine. The Eagle, compared to the Beretta, readies faster, fires faster, reloads faster, and has a chance to score a crit. So unless you are going for the enhanced ammo route with the 92FS, I see no reason to keep using it once you have the Eagle. With the lockpick, opening up that zigzag alley, finding a UBCS mercenary with handgun ammo and his diary, which we aren't reading, through the alleyway, which has very stiff laundry hanging from above, and into the parking area, where we get to use our Eagle. There are 2 dogs. We're just alternating shots. There's a crit. Gotta be careful not to reload the Beretta, since it's in the first slot. Running to this camera angle, dog's gonna start running around the corner. You can see how fast it fires. And we have an open slot for a gunpowder B on this unfortunate merc who got done in by a dog. Into the garage. We have 2 more dogs. Got a crit. Nice. And another crit. In the garage office, handgun ammo, and an item box. Putting away the handgun, doing some inventory management. We still need the lockpick, we don't need the powders. We do need that blue gem though. There we go. The construction street here, we have 3 dogs, waiting for that 3rd dog to almost get to me before running forward and then turning to Jill's right. In the construction area, shortcut scene with the drain demos. We're going to dodge by holding up, right, and running. Emphasizing the right more than the up. If you hold up too much, as opposed to right, and you're too close to the drain demos, it'll swipe, you'll get hit. If you go to the outside, taking that nice wide angle, then it will try to rotate, it'll try to turn with you. Running in the restaurant, there were no gunpowders on that table, so those will be in the press office. Using the lockpick to get the fire hook, so we can open the cover here to the basement, which we aren't going into. And it's time for our next live selection and Nemesis encounter. And we're actually not going to select anything for this. We're just going to let it run out, because Nemesis is going to charge, he's going to punch, he's going to miss. And we're going to kind of nudge into him to try to get him stuck on this corner here. And we're going to let Carlos do the work, because Carlos has infinite ammo. We're far enough away, his punch can't reach us if he tried. And we're just facing the counter and menuing after every 3 bursts. Now this is the part where it gets tricky. We need to push Nemesis so he'll get stuck again, but Carlos needs to not also try to get close to Nemesis. He needs to be behind us. He didn't do that, Nemesis got loose, and he's getting wailed on. And rightfully so, he did mess up our strat. And he's in an awkward position because I can't hit Nemesis. I can't let Carlos die, but I can't let him get close to me either. Because Nemesis will swing and hit Carlos and hit me in the process. Fortunately, I was able to pitch in and take out Nemesis. And you can see Carlos is in danger. Carlos does have more HP than Jill in this fight, but he can still die. Obviously, we don't want that. Nemesis drops a first aid box, which we don't need. In the shopping district here, running into the storeroom, the downtown storeroom. I got the rusted crank and some shotgun shells. Topping that off, putting the shells away, inventory management. There will now be zombies in this alley. Got a crit with Eagle, nice. We just need to down this guy, because the next time we come here, they will despawn and a new batch will be in. In front of City Hall, putting the blue gem in place. That frees up an inventory spot before we go to the press office. In the lobby, pushing these metal steps so we can reach that red light, so we can restore power and open the shutter. Whoosh. And up the stairs we go. Since we met Carlos at the restaurant, we will not meet him here. There will be 2 zombies here instead. And since the powders were not at the restaurant, they will be here. We have enough inventory space to grab everything without making an extra trip. Now we can put the green gem in place and gain access to City Hall. Before we do that, this guy here has some handgun ammo for us. Gates open. Now we can run through the left branch to what I like to call the party alley. Two variations of zombie placement here. They can be sleepers, or it can be a combination of crawlers and just loungers. And I call it the party alley because of that sign that says party and smoking is permitted. Taking all of them out through the Lunsdale Yard alley and to the cable car area. We have 2 dogs by the barrel, and a 3rd dog will leap out from the fire, either on our way to or returning from the cable car. There can also be zombies here, grouped up by the 2 barrels here. Dog showed up early. Take him out. And the body next to the door we entered in had shotgun shells. On the cable car, cutscene meeting Nicholai, then Mikhail, and Carlos again.
Jill, put this on.
But this time, Carlos is useful and gives us 2 extra inventory spots. Grabbing the wrench on the bench before heading back out. We'll need the shotgun next. On our way back through the party alley, we're gonna have a Zed busting out of that car, backing up, giving space. It's kind of an awkward camera angle. Taking him out with the shotgun. And there's a gunpowder B in that car. Now, powder routing varies based on, well, however you want to do it, but for me, it varies mostly dependent on whether I got the Magnum or the grenade launcher. I got the grenade launcher, I need flame rounds. I also need to free up some inventory space. So I made a C powder by combining an A and a B, and then combining the other A to make an AC. When I combine that with a reloading tool, I'll get 10 flame rounds. Running through the gas station, using the rusted crank, which breaks, and then the wrench to open up the gas station shop itself. And we have 3 gunpowder A's on the table. If they were not here, they would be in the pharmacy sales office storage room. I need more inventory space, so I'm combining those 3 to make a triple A, which will give me a lot of handgun ammo. Carlos is here. And we have a puzzle to get the oil. When you press one of the letters, the light above it and any lights adjacent to it are going to toggle. This is one of my favorite puzzles. I could do this for quite a while, but we only need to do it 3 times. That gets us the machine oil. Gas station's on fire. We're gonna run away. And we're off. On our way back through, passing by City Hall. Door bust open. We have 4 zombies. Got a triple. Nice. Then finish the other one off. 2 shotgun shells to clear out 4 Zeds. Statue, bronze book. And then we're going to head to the water feature area in front of the restaurant. Back in the shopping district, the previous Zeds all despawned. 6 new ones roll in, chasing Carlos. I'm gonna kind of let them come to me. Use the shotgun. Turning away, using the auto-aim to check and see if any are still alive. And using 4 shots to take out 6. I favor body shots instead of letting them get close for headshots. And I always have plenty of extra shotgun ammo, so it's not really a concern. Placing the bronze book down, grabbing the bronze compass. Then tracking back to City Hall to place the compass on the statue and get the battery. But on our way back out, dogs or crows are going to break out of the shop. Got dogs this time. Either way, we're just going to rotate to Jill's right. Reset the room. Because now they will all just be hanging out, and we'll have plenty of time to run by. That event happens after getting the compass. So, if you need to get the powders from the press office, you would need to do that before you get the compass. Compass is in place. Now we have the battery. Now we can head to the substation. Before we do that, need to stop by an item box. Do some inventory management. And some crafting. Don't need the lockpick for right now. We do need the grenade launcher and the reloading tool. Combining the AAA gets us 55 handgun rounds. And the AC gets us the 10 flame rounds. Trying to get organized here. There we go. I was indecisive if I needed the shotgun shells or not. Back in the construction area, there are 2 drain demos, or brain suckers. It's 50-50. Flame rounds are guaranteed 1 shots against them. Battery in place, down the lift. Two variations of zombie placement here. They can be close, which they are, or they can be further away. Handgun rounds on the body closest to the lift. All clear, and into the substation. And in the substation, we have 3 gunpowder bees on the table. If they were not here, they would be in the pharmacy sales office storeroom. Since we got the gunpowder A's at the gas station and the gunpowder B's here, there will be no powders at the sales office. Switching the substation to manual mode, and then opening up both doors here. Red, blue, blue, blue for the low voltage room. Then red, 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 blue for the high voltage room. Once we grab one of the items, in this case the fuse, but either or, we'll get a live selection. And we're going to increase electricity output. Now we're free to grab the Magnum from the other room. And we're done at the substation. And now we can head to the pharmacy sales office. Gunpowder A on this UBCS guy here. Back at the construction street, we have zombies. Waking that one up in the corner, so we get a double decap. Since we met Carlos at the gas station, that guarantees Nicholai is going to be here. And that's what we want, because there will be a zombie that will break out of that car. Since he didn't break out now, he'll break out on the way back to get us some grenade rounds. Some inventory management. Need the Magnum. Going to make a triple B batch of shotgun shells. That gets us 30 shotgun shells. Some item box inventory cleanup, looking good. Now we can head towards the pharmacy sales office. Running by the bus, crows can break out on our way by. They didn't break out now, so they'll break out on the way back. At the back of this alley here, using the wrench to get the fire hose. And the wrench is all used up, so we will discard it here. In the zigzag alley, running straight to that UBCS corpse, hitting the button to aim at the barrel, and firing a magnum shot. That's been a pretty surefire way to get both at once, because hitting them with the barrel doesn't always get both of them. So I found that to be a very consistent strategy. By the bookshop, we could have 7 zombies or 3 dogs. And we want to make sure that that area is cleared out. We will have another Nemesis fight there shortly. Back in the forked alley, using the fire hose to put out the fire, which will grant us passage to the sales office. An unreachable Zed in that alley. And 2 drain demos or brain suckers in front of the sales office. I like to walk forward a little bit before aiming. Aiming right away, or buffering the aim during the door loading animation. Or lack thereof, since I have those skipped. Sometimes Jill will aim straight ahead, instead of at the drain demos. In the sales office, we need a password to open up the storeroom. Saffron, in this case, could also be Adravil or Aquacure. And in the very back is the oil additive. Once we grab this, we're going to have another enemy encounter. 6 zombies breaking through the door. Just going to wait for blue tank top there to pass by that valve. That usually causes more to get affected by the steam, but in this case they got kind of bunched up and very little steam damage was done, but that's okay. The sales office itself, 6 zombies running around, running to the corner to get a triple decap, and then just ignoring the other 3. Now we can head back towards the cable car. But before that, we have a Nemesis encounter. He's got a rocket launcher. We're just going to run right by him. In this alley, running, hugging the cars to the left. Nemesis usually does a sliding or skating punch and misses, but that time he just kept chasing me and then just stopped. Either way, once he's stopped or he swings and misses, I turn around and run for the corner here. Same as before, not firing while he is. And I'm going to do what I did inside of the RPD, and that is take 3 shots, and then hold back and left. I got a few extra shots off while he was throwing away his rocket launcher. And I found this to be consistent for him not getting loose off of that corner. Trying to do the same thing I've done during the first Nemesis encounter, he has gotten loose for seemingly arbitrary reasons. Now in his second phase, since he is a lot more aggressive, I'm only doing 2 shots. I don't know why it's different here. It shouldn't. But my experience has shown otherwise. There we go. M37 Parts A. 1/2 of the parts needed for the Western Custom, which is a very fun shotgun to use. On our way back through by the bus, Crow is finally breaking out. But no fanfare, no music, nothing, no cutscene. Just running through. Grabbing the power cable. Now we have all of the parts we need for the cable car. But first, a quick live selection. Jumping down has no benefit, we're just going to climb up. If we did jump down, it would be a very small room. We would see some sliding worms, the skin of a Gravedigger, and a ladder to get back up on the street. It's kind of pointless. Now back in the construction street here, I almost forgot about these 2. And then I thought maybe I can get all 3 of them grouped up. But I decided not to risk it, just took out the first 2, baited out the 3rd one out of the car, which has grenade rounds. And now we need to make one more item box trip before heading to the cable car. Putting all the parts up top for now. Taking 3 gunpowder Bs to make a triple. The triple B will give us 18 acid rounds out of 6 grenade rounds. Loading those up. Don't need the flame rounds. Don't need the shotgun. Combining the machine oil with the oil additive to get the mixed oil. And leaving an inventory slot open for our next pickup. Now, for me, it's time for the worst fight in the game. The downtown Nemesis fight. This one is awkward. It's kind of difficult to set up, but I managed to get it. Letting him approach me, running to the right by that pipe when Nemesis passes by that poster, baiting out an attack so I can run by. Because he turns kind of like a semi, where he needs to swing out sometimes. And then doing my best to guide him along so he gets stuck on this corner of these flower beds. And then I just do what I did in the first fight. 3 shots, turn, menu. I'm also moving back slightly because every time we aim, Jill moves very slightly forward. Now when he gets down, we're blocking him from moving, otherwise he would shift to his left and get free. As soon as he gets up and starts roaring, we just run back to our spot and repeat the process. Got a crit, nice. 2 more crits, awesome. Now we have the M37 parts B, combine those 2. Gets us the M37 Western Custom. Compared to the regular shotgun, ready's faster, fires faster. Reload time I'm actually not sure on, I believe they're about the same. Most of the time I do my reloading from the menu anyway. But there are some occasions where I don't. Back in the Lonsdale yard. Got a cutscene, we're going underground. For our first Gravedigger encounter. It is optional to fight Gravedigger here, but doing so will make the fight in the park easier. Running to this spot, posting up. Every time we see Gravedigger, we can fire. It takes 7 acid rounds to scare him off. Once we hear that roar, we are free to activate the switches, lower the ladder, and get out of here. Now, because we defeated it here, it will only have 675 HP instead of 900 when we fight it later for the mandatory fight. Putting the mixed oil, the fuse, and the power cable. And we're ready to head off to the Clocktower.
It looks like we're ready to go. Here, take this.
Carlos gives us some flame rounds. Thanks, Carlos.
Okay.
If we meet Carlos at the sales
Nicholai
office, he will not give you flame rounds
join
here.
us.
I understand. I'll operate the cable car. Let's go.
He's almost made up for earlier. And then he just stands there and stares at the floor. Never mind.
Mikhail!
Fortunately, we don't need to fight Nemesis here. We can just turn and run. Mikhail's gonna fight him for us. Thanks, Mikhail.
No, the brakes are out.
Jumping out of the window,
It's useless.
which will have us start in the bedroom. And that means we will have to fight the rocket launcher Nemesis during the mandatory Clocktower fight. There are no gunpowders here, so the gunpowders will be in the chapel. Behind this painting is the Clocktower key, the winder key. Into the living room. I'd like to play some chess, but sadly we can't. The small library.
Here's a gift for you.
Carlos has more grenade rounds for some reason, specifically freeze rounds. If you take the other path, where you use the emergency brake, then you will not get the freeze rounds from Carlos. I like using them for an upcoming fight. Taking a line straight for the door, through the dining room, into the piano room, then into the chapel. Time for some more inventory management. Making room for powders. And I want to make a bunch of shotgun shells. So I'm going to make 2 AABs. Combining A with an A for a double A, then the double A with the B. Has to be that order, otherwise we will make a C powder, and that won't do us any good here. That gives us 20 shotgun shells each, 40 total. And grabbing the bezel. Loading the flame rounds in the grenade launcher. And putting away the magnum for now. Back in the piano room. Zombies breaking through. We're going to rotate to Jill's left. And run back to the dining room. Then straight back to the main hall. And up the stairs. Three giant spiders just running by, keeping my distance so I don't get bumped. On the balcony, bezel key to lower the ladder. And up into the cog room. And over to the music box. In the PC version, the solution is the same every time. It is up, down, up, up, down, up. Solving that gets us the Chronos chain. Combining that with the winder gets us the Chronos. There were no gunpowder A's on the shelf there, so we just won't be getting them because they don't spawn anywhere else. Stars. Nemesis encounter, live selection. We're going to use the cord. Using the light will just get rid of him completely until the next encounter. And he drops a first aid box, which we are, of course, ignoring. Now, he can come into this room and chase you. And if that were the case, then he would have dropped down there, but I wanted to check. Otherwise, he is in the small library here, so we need to lure him out. He's running at us. Swing, he stops, we're walking, getting him stuck up on this corner here. Perfect. Posting up in front of the flowers. And you'll notice that every time we fire, Nemesis is taking a hard stun. Regular shotgun doesn't do this. Regular shotgun is also too slow. I want to stay in my spot, so I'm using slide shots to get him up faster. and burning up the handgun ammo. And then just rinse and repeat. The Western Custom reloads fast enough to where we don't have to go in the menu. He's done. Getting our flame rounds ready. Using the Chronos key to access the spider corridor. Normally, I would use acid rounds, because using flame rounds, as you can see, causes them to spawn baby spiders. However, acid rounds are not a guaranteed one-shot. So, being far enough away, and just quickly running to the door to reset the room, I'll take that risk compared to the acid round not being enough to one-shot, and then trying to get a second shot without getting hit. This webbed guy in the corner here has grenade rounds. And we're just going to run by the third one here. In the clock room, there are 3 portraits, from left to right, the past goddess, present goddess, and future goddess, and 3 maiden statues, from left to right, holding an amber ball, obsidian ball, and crystal ball. Placing the balls on the tray underneath the portraits will move the clock, and we need to get it to noon. Placing the amber ball from left to right will minus 3 hours, plus 3 hours, plus 6 hours, obsidian, minus 2, plus 2, plus 4, and crystal, minus 1, plus 1, plus 2. So minus a value, plus a value, and then plus a double value. There are 6 possible solutions dependent on the starting time. This starting time is 11 o'clock, so it is going to be amber, obsidian, crystal from left to right, but I went from right to left. Doesn't matter the order, as long as the clock is at noon. Once it's solved, we grab the gold gear, and away we go. Now to head back up to the cog room. Heading back up to the cog room. Grabbing the silver gear off the shelf. Combining that to make the Chronos gear. Putting that in place. Clocktower bell starts ringing. And once we go down the ladder and re-enter the main hall, that will bring us to the next boss fight. First, we need to dodge 5 rockets. Baiting out a rocket, running, and then backing up into place. So that way Nemesis doesn't readjust his aim and mess up our timing. He fired 3, then he fired 2. That's a good volley. Need to lure him over here. Running by, get him stuck on that corner. He's stuck, he's done. I started menu reloading here, although I'm not sure why. Same as before, a few slide shots to wake him up and do some extra damage. There we go.
I'm sorry, Jill. Please, wake up!
October 1st, night. I woke up to the sound of falling rain. I can't believe I'm still alive.
Now we're playing as Carlos. With the assault rifle and the Merc's handgun. Running through the piano room. into the dining room. The zombie on the left there with the green pants is the only one we really need to worry about here, as he is next to the door leading to the main hall. There is a line that you can take to dodge it. I've done it before. I'm not very consistent with it, so I'm playing it safe. Running to the spider corridor. But Carlos doesn't always get spiders. He sometimes gets drain demos or brain suckers. Spiders are, in my opinion, the easiest to deal with. The drain demos have quite a few iframes. So we're just playing it careful, spacing out our shots so we're not wasting any. Resetting the room after each one. Now for the third one, we're just going to wait for it to get on the ground so we can stun lock it. This corridor is clear. In the back of the portrait statue room, Carlos pushing the bell out of the way. To the alleyway leading to the hospital. There is a line to take here to dodge. I've done it before. It's fairly consistent, unless one turbos, then it's trouble. So again, playing it safe here. Learning 3 by the barrel, and then just taking down the 4th one. We don't actually need to take them out completely. They will despawn when we come back here later. In the waiting room of the hospital. Going to Carlos's right, around the pillar, so we're right next to the door. After the cutscene with the hunter, we could just turn, walk forward like a step, and we're in the reception office. In the doctor's lounge, got handgun ammo in the locker, and the tape recorder. Since I'm fighting Nemesis as Carlos, I do want the extra handgun ammo, just in case.
To be a slight fracture in his right arm just below the elbow. However...
Now in the elevator, we can go to the 4th floor, or the basement 3 floor, B3. I always go to the 4th floor first. And we have zombies here. There are 5 zombies. They don't always show up here. They can show up on any of the 3 floors. But they showed up here, and that's just what we have to deal with. Since they showed up here, that means that if we do everything correctly in the hospital, there will be hunter betas in the basement hallway and in the 1st floor doctor's lounge. Heading to the data room, cutscene with Nicholai and Tyrell, grabbing the sick room key, and then forgetting to use the sick room key as we go to the basement. Now, as I mentioned, if we did everything correctly, we would have hunters in the basement hallway here. But we'll see what happens with that in a minute. The basement storeroom, we have 2 hunter betas. These will always be here if we meet Tyrell in the 4th floor. Otherwise, it's inverse. We meet Tyrell down here. We'll have hunters upstairs. And next to the cultivation tanks, flipping the lever here to one of the few non-RNG elements. Putting the medium base in place. And moving the levers 1, 3, and A. It is always 1, 3, A. It's never anything else. And that gives us the vaccine medium. And it was about this time that I realized I still had the sick room key. Those hunter gammas breaking out. And back in the basement hallway, this is where the hunters should be. And I'm pretty confused as to why they aren't here. I later found out that they only appear here after getting the vaccine medium and the vaccine base. And only if we didn't previously encounter zombies there. That's why I like getting zombies in the basement. So I went up to the first floor just to see what would happen. Went up to the 4th floor to see what would happen. And I'm thinking, okay, could the hunters spawn here after I get the vaccine base? Room 401, sliding worms. Could also get zombies, just have to be careful with the sliding worms. Either have to check the doctor for the slip to see the number to get the solution, or if the cart is visible, see that, turn around and run. I play it safe by just immediately aiming down and firing. Sliding worms are very cheap enemies, in my opinion. And thanks to my confusion, I pushed the cart onto the wrong square. I didn't think that it did damage, did a quick health check, still at full. Resetting the room so I can push the cart on the correct side. It's mirrored from the other room. Now, of course, I'm all over the place. Combination is 325. We have the vaccine base. Now we have the vaccine. And I still wasn't sure if I would get hunters here, because at the time I was not 100% sure. So by forgetting to use the sick room key, I accidentally skipped a hunter encounter, which I'm not going to complain about. I was expecting the 2 in the doctor's lounge here. Now we can leave the hospital. It seems to be a time-based bomb. Plenty of time for us to run out. And that puts us conveniently next to the back door of the clock tower. Holding upright and running in case we get sliding worms, as we did here. Very cheap enemies, because they'll latch on. This corridor is clear, and so we can just run right on through. And back into the main hall for our next Nemesis fight. This is our first encounter with the Nemesis Type B. Tentacles out of his right hand, which means he is now right-handed instead of left-handed, but he is also a lot slower. So I'm just running by his left side, moving counterclockwise, taking a few shots, and then just repeating the process. Don't get greedy, just take a few shots, bait out the attack, run by. Don't let him get too close to the wall, otherwise you might get stuck. Alright, we're out of ammo. With the rifle, switching to the handgun. Only getting a couple of shots off. And that's okay. It's a game of patience. There we go. He's down. Doesn't drop anything here, of course. but it will make the next fight for Jill much easier. Back in the chapel, giving the vaccine to Jill, and we're playing back as her.
You barely made it.
Now, since we downed him as Carlos, he will only have 500 HP instead of 900. Some inventory management. We want to make sure that we have the shotgun, the freeze rounds, and the lockpick. As we try to run through the piano room, he's going to take out that door. And we're going to fight him again in the main hall. I like to run to this corner because if he's walking, that gives me plenty of time to get some shots off. And then same process like with Carlos. But this time he'll take a knee after receiving some damage. Then we'll start hitting him with the freeze rounds. Freeze rounds will inflict some stun on him. So we bait out an attack, run by, hit him with the freeze round. He's down. On a first playthrough, he would drop an assault rifle, fully loaded. On New Game Plus, which would be the case in this game, would be an infinite ammo case, or infinite bullets. You can combine that with any weapon to get infinite ammo. Of course, we're not using that, so we're just running out the back door. Got some new zombies here. A couple of them are on fire. Need to take that guy out because he's in the way. Using the lockpick to open up the park office. And we have grenade rounds on the table, so that means we will have grenade rounds in the cabinet. Otherwise, they will be mine thrower rounds. Grabbing the park key, the main gate key, off the wall. And more inventory management. We're done with the lockpick, but for some reason we don't get the option to throw it away, unlike the lighter and every other key item. Perfect. He's down, path is clear to Raccoon Park. In the main park, we can have hunter betas or sliding worms. Either way, path is the same. On the wooden jetty here, we have 2 hunter gammas. Backing up until the first one appears, then running forward. Hit him with the flame round. Second one's going to jump out, and we'll be waiting for him. Flame rounds one-shot them as well. Otherwise, there will be zombies on the jetty. And on the forest path here, we have 3 hunter betas. Just camping by the gate, waiting for the first 2. And there will be a third one. We have to wait for it to come out from around the corner by the barrel. Barrel will take it out in one shot. And this path is clear. If we didn't get hunters here, we would get 3 zombie dogs. Another park key. The graveyard key. Now we can head back through. Cut through the main park and go to the fountain. And we need to move these gears around. We just need to switch them. So the black gears are on top, and the white/gray gears are on bottom. That drains the pool, so we can get to the drainage passage. Up the ladder, sliding worms were dropping down, but we beat them to the ladder. Then running through the graveyard. Zombies will emerge from the ground, but we're going to ignore them. They'll despawn when we come back out here. Using the graveyard key to get to the cabin. On the table, we have 2 gunpowder Bs and 2 gunpowder As. Combining those into a BB and an AA, respectively. Then going over to the cabinet to grab the iron pipe. Into the save room, putting away the eagle. Done with that. Grabbing the powders, grenade rounds, acid rounds. Combining the AA with the grenade rounds gets us 12 flame rounds. And we have some grenade experience, so combining the BB with the grenade rounds gets us 13 acid rounds out of 6 grenade rounds. Equipping the grenade launcher with the acid rounds, using the lighter on the fireplace. We no longer need the lighter, discarding that. Using the iron pipe to open up the secret passage. In the secret communications room, grenade rounds on the shelf. And one more park key, the rear gate key. Try to leave, get a message, ignoring that.
I'm quite impressed.
There's Nicholai, we're ignoring him. And back into the graveyard. Gravedigger time. Running forward, hugging the wall to the left, waiting for Gravedigger to emerge. Taking a shot with the acid round. Running by this tombstone, this camera angle change. Just taking shots until Gravedigger burrows. Then running to pretty much where we started, next to this rock. Waiting for Gravedigger to emerge. And if it does its fast emerge, we're going to run forward, walk it back. Usually does it twice. I've seen it as few as once, like happened here. I've seen it as most as 4 before it backs off and then does the slow emerge. Either way, once it's emerged, we just hit it with acid rounds until it's dead. That nudge at the end did not do any damage. Back in the drainage passage, we will get sliding worms or spiders. I prefer spiders. There are 3 of them in there. However, once we take out the first one and reset the room, the other 2 despawn. I was just double checking there. Flame round 1 shot, baby spiders, didn't matter, since we reset the room so quickly. On the way out, the main park has 7 zombies now. We just need to get this guy out of the way. Quick decap with that Western custom. And the rest of the path is clear. And we are done with the park. But before we leave, got some Magnum rounds. on this UBCS mark here, right next to the exit gate here. Discarding that. And to the walkway. Live selection. We could do either. If we push Nemesis off, we will not get the ending with Barry. So we're going to jump off. Since I'm not getting the rocket launcher, there's really no benefit to pushing Nemesis off. It's easier to jump off, because we only have to go through the underground area here, the basement, once. The monitoring room, grabbing the water sample. Just clearing some space, because we might have powders in the next room. Down the stairs to the water control room. And we do have the powders. There are 3 gunpowder Bs and 3 gunpowder As. We're going to make all of them into Cs and then combine those to make a triple C. There we go. Now that triple C, when combined with grenade rounds, will get us 19 freeze rounds. Putting the water sample in place. The frequency chart shows us high, low. You can tell the solution by looking at the first 2 lines there. So with high-low, we need to move the A range once to the left, B range twice to the left, and the C range twice to the right. We have everything we need to the next item box. Through the water filter passage here. Cutscene with Carlos. And into the water pollution pool. Now this room can have zombies, drain demos, brain suckers, or hunter betas. If we got zombies or the hunters, we could have just ran straight for the elevator, because those emerge from the pool. The drain demos and brain suckers do not. Now, if you need to go through this room multiple times, the enemies can respawn up to 3 times. They'll respawn after you go to the steam room for the first time, after you go to the water control room, where we did the water sample puzzle the first time, and after acquiring the card key. So plan accordingly if you want to go through that room multiple times or get the rocket launcher. In the upper level, in the control room, just got a couple zombies in the way. Clearing a path to grab that system disk. The entry corridor, cutscene with Nicholai. And into the break room, running through to the steam room. Pressing the first switch, and then the third switch, and just running towards the control panel, spamming the confirm button, means we can skip about half the puzzle. And the steam does not do any damage. Now the path to the treatment room is open. So we're just going to hit those switches again in reverse order. Back in the break room. Just grabbing everything, because we got the room for it. topping off the Magnum, making those freeze rounds, loading those up. The entry corridor has Drain Demos again. Could also be Brain Suckers, just running through. They'll despawn by the time we come back here. And just double checking, making sure we have everything we need before going into the treatment room entry and using the system disk to gain access to the treatment room itself.
Warning. Proceeding with operation in the treatment room. Please evacuate immediately.
Stars. Stars.
Now, the intro cutscene and the music are so good, but Nemesis is actually a really big push over here. Using freeze rounds, just gonna hit him once or twice, run around him. You can see how slow he is, how easy it is to run by his left side. And he's going to hit an HP wall once he hits 650 health. When he hits that wall, he's going to kneel. He has iframes until he is all the way down on the ground. That is going to repeat every 250 health. So 650, 400, 150. So it's effectively a 4-phase fight. On the last phase, it will only take 2 direct hits from freeze rounds to take him down. However, in order to initiate the cutscene, Nemesis needs to be fully upright. Otherwise, you'll just have to hit him again. Not a big deal, just something to keep in mind. We have the card key, now we can get out.
Missile attack confirmed. All personnel evacuate immediately.
Back in the control room, the Zeds have been replaced by test subjects. Western Custom makes quick work of them. And we can head straight to the communications tower. Three more Zeds behind the shutter, not a problem. In the communications tower itself, that's a Magnum ammo. And the portable radar receiver. And Nicholai's back. We're going to negotiate with the power of the 44 Magnum. Return fire to the chopper, run to the corner, take a shot, readjust after each shot. 5 shots, he's down.
Jill, that's it. We've got to find a way out of here, now!
It's not required for this category, I just like to do it.
Warning.
There's one standing in the way, and we have so much ammo left over. We actually don't need any ammo for the final boss. Putting away that card key, being mindful because that one right there is a landmine. There's only 2 that are active in this room. In the junkyard here, running through, checking my time, because the game can sometimes crash. Whenever I start up this game, I like to load up these rooms just to make sure that it doesn't crash. Another common crashing point is when Carlos leaves the clock tower after pushing the bell.
Checking battery. Warning, there is not enough power to activate the system.
In the rail cannon room, we have the rail cannon, Sword of Paracelsus, which we need to power up by pushing these 3 batteries in. After pushing battery number 1, the final fight starts. Once we have control, we're turning around and running straight to battery number 2. Then straight to battery number 3. Nemesis has climbed up in the middle there. Batteries are in. Rail cannon's charging. Now we just need to hang around and bait Nemesis one way, then run and bait him the other way. Just kind of lure him around, kite him around. Running by, taking the outside wall to avoid those acid splashes. He's going to start coming down. Now I'm going to run to the other side. And I'm baiting out that acid attack to get him to pause. However, he starts crawling the other way for some reason. And then another for some reason, he is now on top of the now broken pipes. Not sure why that happened, but we just need to keep running around. Eventually, he will climb down. There we go. Now we need to just lure him in front of the rail cannon. Baiting attacks. There we go. Now, what I like to do is equip the Western Custom to try to get some shots in to bring his HP down faster. Couldn't quite get in a good position there, but that's okay. Also just trying to maintain that aggro, so he's stuck in place. He's done. Well, almost. Another quick health check. We're still at full health.
System overheating. Enter cooldown mode.
On our way out, we have one more live selection. And it's only appropriate to exterminate him, give him stars.
You want stars? I'll give you stars.
Yeah. So satisfying. And we're out of here.
Jill!
It's over, Carlos.
What are you talking about? Don't you hear that? There's a second chopper, and it's here to rescue you.
But who is it? Who could possibly be looking for me?
It doesn't matter. We just have to be there when it lands.
Thanks. You saved us.
I couldn't let you die.
Is it you?
Are you ready to finish this?
It's coming!
Yeah. It's the end.
That's it. Umbrella's going down.
And now we have a rather unfortunate turn of events. It seems that the President and the Federal Council have passed judgment over the civilians of Raccoon City. The President and Federal Council have ruled that the Bacillus Terminate operation is the best course of action for this extreme situation, and have since executed. Based on that fact, Raccoon City has been literally wiped off the map. Current reports have the death toll surpassing the 100,000 mark. Our hearts go out to those poor civilians of Raccoon City.
Roll credits. That concludes this no save, no damage run of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, Classic PC Source Next version, Nemesis %, Arrange Heavy Mode, S rank with a completion time of 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 52 seconds. Thanks for watching.